Hey guys, today we're talking about SPRs, or special purpose rifles. Now, in a military setting, an SPR is a rifle used by a squad designated marksman, a DMR basically. It's an accurized AR-style rifle designed to shoot past those mid-range target distances. Now, if you're watching this video, odds are you probably already own an AR, maybe with a red dot magnifier combo or with an LPVO. So why should you invest in building an SPR? While LPVOs and red dot magnifiers are able to help you put shots on target downrange, SPRs are typically going to be more accurate and more precise at mid-ranges and especially longer ranges, let's say shooting anywhere from 600 to 900 yards. Now, some of you might be thinking that's unlikely that you're going to have to engage a target at 600 or 900 yards because maybe you live in an urban or even in a suburban area. If you live in an area like this and have access to a rangefinder, survey your surroundings, range buildings, range things on the landscape. You'll soon find that those ranges are actually pretty common in urban and suburban areas. Another argument can be made in favor of SPRs at even closer ranges at 100 or 200 yards if you look at modern conflicts. Hear me out on this. A good example would be the war in Ukraine. There are frequent instances where marksmen and sniper teams have to engage targets from small portholes, windows, or little gaps or holes in damaged walls. While it's possible to get hits on a man-sized target with a red dot magnifier or an LPVO at 200 yards, can you hit a 3 or 5 inch target at that distance with the same setup? Sure, it can be done, but you probably have an easier time with an SPR that's going to be more precise. Good optics, barrels, and even ammo for these builds are going to be a bit more on the pricey side. So if you're not able to build one due to financial constraints, it'd be a good idea to make sure that someone in your network has one and is proficient with it. So going forward, what should you look for in building an SPR? The basic idea is that you have enough magnification to identify those targets at longer distances. Let's use a USPSA target, for example. These have dimensions that mimic a human torso. They're about 18 inches wide, about 30 inches tall. Can you identify this target from 300 or 600 yards with your current optic setup, or even further than that? The next question is, can you hit it? Can you hit it where you want to hit it? With an MPVO or larger scope, you'll have an advantage if you have target-style turrets like this one. You can dial in for known distances. We even have a bullet drop notes here on the stock that tell us exactly how many mils or clicks we need to go up or down depending on the range we're shooting. Do you have the appropriate ammo for the terminal ballistics that you want to have at longer ranges? Studies show that heavier bullets with a higher ballistic coefficient are going to be more accurate at longer distances. In my opinion, I'd much rather be shooting a 69 grain or heavier 5.56 bullet at a long-range threat than a 55 grainer. For instance, general consensus tells us that the average minimum impact energy required for self-defense is about 260 foot-pounds. Now, this is based on causing an incapacitating wound. 532 yards is the maximum range for a 55 grain bullet to maintain this force. On the other hand, a 62 grainer extends that distance by more than 100 yards, making it good to go to about 635 yards. And a Hornady 75 grain ELD match bullet maintains that force to well over 800 yards. Again, these figures are based on the necessary force to cause an incapacitating wound. So you want to make an informed decision when choosing long-range ammo for your SPR. I've also found that an enhanced trigger greatly improves your chances of a first-round hit, along with the appropriate optics and ammo. Personally, I like a two-stage trigger like the Geissele SSAE or Super Semi-Auto Enhanced Trigger. Has a very smooth, light first-stage take-up between 2 and 2.5 pounds and a very crisp, light break at about 1 pound. Think about it. A lighter trigger is beneficial to accuracy because it doesn't take that much force to move, and that reduces the amount the gun is going to move while you're pulling that trigger. You can also improve your accuracy with the use of a bipod. I like the Harris-style swivel bipods here. They work great on uneven surfaces and give you a huge advantage. And finally, an appropriate 5.56 suppressor. It not only helps to protect your hearing, but it also aids in hiding your position. making it more difficult for a threat to know where you're shooting from. So guys, there might be an SPR hiding inside of your AR-15. With a few additions, you could be capable of hitting those long-range targets that you only thought possible with an expensive custom build. Now do some research, build up that SPR, get some training, and remember, the American rifleman is a practitioner of a highly valued martial art. And there are always new ideas, training methods, and equipment right around the corner that help to keep us effective and accurate. Stay vigilant, and God bless America.